So how do you partner with God in a dream? We're all doing a lot of dreaming right now. There's a lot of ambitions flying around, especially after a family reunion. But what does it look like to actually refine it and partner with God in it? It's something I've been thinking a lot about the last couple of days. So for me, these are some things that I use to refine my process. Now, a lot of this is coming from 1 Samuel. If you go back and study, there's two stories running side by side in that book. And it's the story of Hannah, who was barren and taunted and rejected. And then she went to the priest and poured her heart out. And they thought she was drunk and she was misunderstood. But then the Lord answered her. And she said, if you answer me, I will hand you my child, which was Samuel. And then also right alongside that, you have the Israelites, and they wanted to be like everybody else, honestly. They were like, we want a king, and we want a good-looking king like all the other nations. We want to look like they do. Now, I'm grossly paraphrasing. So both of them in that situation, Hannah and the Israelites, were coming to God with their requests. But let's look at how both of those things played out. So how do you partner with God in a dream? Number one, start with your dream, not someone else's. Hannah started with a dream of her own. She wanted a child for her own family. Her desires were very simple, very humble, but it was her dream for her family. The Israelites, on the other hand, they may have said that they wanted a king, but ultimately what they really wanted was to be like everyone else. So what they really did in that situation was to make people their ceiling. Start with your own dream. Don't try to look to be like someone else. Start with a dream that you're actually supposed to start with. Number one. Number two, you might want to refine your why. So Hannah was pure-hearted, and we can tell that by the prayer that she prayed when she released Samuel. That's a whole teaching in and of itself, but she was pure-hearted in what she wanted. And she had had time for God to really sift her heart and refine her why for that dream. And the Israelites, on the other hand, they also got what they wanted. So he was like, I'll give you what you want. But their why behind it was never refined. So if you partner with God in a dream, the more you go with him and you discuss what that is, he will help refine your why. He will help change your heart. He will help reveal things that are bad for you. And he actually warned the Israelites, if you get this, it's going to mean bonded for you, for your whole life. That's a whole thing, not going to unpack it, but it's not going to be a good situation for you. And it's actually going to be more constrictive, refining, and bondage for you. Is that really what you want for your life? And they still said yes. And again, their why was to be like everyone else, not to actually want God's best for who they were. But if you partner with God in a dream and you let him sift your heart, he will protect you from a bad why. So if it's more than what you need, he will reveal it and change your heart and save you major heartache and consequences. On the other hand, if your dream is too small, he will magnify it and multiply it. Hannah had a very simple dream, but he magnified it to actually affect an entire nation. Number three, in how to partner with God for a dream. How are you responding to rejection and misunderstanding? Because Hannah was actually facing rejection. So she was being taunted by another wife about her barrenness and her lack. And instead of letting that shame drive her into isolation and self-pity, because it could have, she actually took action and went directly to the temple to go seek the Lord and partner with him. So it was her response to that actually was the driver for her to go run to the right partnership. It's amazing. And also, if you take a look at Sarah in the Bible, though, also was promised a child. But instead of partnering with the Lord on it, she took matters into her own hands and actually took control. Those are two very different things. So your response to rejection, shame, all that, the voices in your head, what other people say to you, your response to that is a very defining thing. How are you going to respond? Are you going to take matters into your own hands and take control? Are you going to go run and partner with the Lord on it and let him do something about it and let him change you? And she ran to the right source. And she even was misunderstood by the priest. He thought she was drunk. But because she responded in humility, he actually blessed her. And it was kind of like the gateway to her promise. So both of those things, the rejection actually drove her into the partnership. And her humility to authority actually brought blessing to her. It's all about your response and how you partner with the Lord. So, what are the benefits of partnering with God? So, in business, we often evaluate partnerships and the equity of partnerships through what value, experience, insight, connection, or resources someone brings to the table. So let's just look at that for a minute. What value and insight and resources and connections do you bring to the table? And what does he bring to the table? I'll let you do the math on that. It's too much for my head. So Hannah had nothing to bring to the table. In fact, she had a lack of something to bring to the table. And sometimes that's all. We actually have nothing to bring to the table. Which actually, she had an egg. She did bring that to the table. But there's an empty promise. And so some of you may be like, well, what if my dreams are too small? And again, Hannah was only after something that was human and basic, but God took that and multiplied it. And another thing, what is the difference between partnering with God versus manifesting? And this is the part where are your dreams too small? Because if Hannah had believed only for a singular outcome, she wanted a baby. That's what she went to the Lord about. If she was really going more the path of manifesting, she would have been happy with a singular outcome of one child. But what happens when you partner with God is that he is a God of multiplication. And he took that one thing that she gave him and he used Samuel to affect an entire nation. But the best part about it is that she actually went on to have 5 more children. So she yielded what she had, and God accomplished his purposes through it. But then also, she went on to have 5 more children of her own for her own life. And that was 5 times. That was just so much multiplication on so many fronts. So I'm going to let you consider, is partnership with him worth it?